Bronwyn and Jennifer, Danny and I are really excited to chat with you this week because this is a big milestone moment for Jenny. Your 40th birthday is coming up. How are you feeling?
Um,
Old.
yeah. We were at the pool yesterday and I was like looking at people that are like 25, remembering what that was like. It was nice.
Yeah, we were at a fun Sungay party yesterday at Soho House. We were the old ones. The people we were talking to were the same age as Bella, my oldest daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's always that moment when you are around like a group of people much younger than you. You're like, what is going on? There has to be also like some very like fun moments that you're feeling as well. Like turning 40, like it's entering a new decade, you're leaving another decade behind you. Like, what are some of like the most beautiful things that you maybe have like learned or you're excited to usher into 40? Because it's exciting.
No, yay. Yes. I mean, getting older is better than
The alternative.
the alternative. That's what I can say about it. No, I think that there are good things about it. I think that people listen to me a little more. I feel like I have more confidence. I'm sitting on the board of an organization called Franklin Pride here, and I noticed that especially with like younger members in the organization, they look at me with a little more authority, which is very strange because I view myself as 21. But there are good things. And, I'm definitely more confident. I have my life more together. I'm not as messy as I was in my 20s and 30s. But hopefully, with plastic surgery, I'll always look like I'm 31. So,
Yeah.
Okay. Bronwyn, now, as someone who has turned 40, is there any advice or words of wisdom that you have given Jen about this milestone occasion?
no.
No. I mean, never act your age. Although we do eat dinner at 3 p.m. and we're in bed by like 8 every night. So I guess
I've been doing that since 25,
we
though.
act like we're 80. No, I think when I turned 40, I was pregnant when I turned 40, so I didn't get to have the big party or do any of those fun things. So this is fun for me. You know, I
I
don't
will.
know. Just getting older is kind of cool, especially when you're a woman. It's you come into your own power. You don't care what people think as much. Your opinions of others don't fill up your head. I mean, there isn't a really cool because I'm getting close to 50 now. So and it starts when you're in your 40s and you really come into your own in your 40s. And then I think it just takes off in your 50s.
I will say that it gave me a really good excuse because I always make my birthday the entire month of July.
Yeah.
But this is now I actually have an excuse, and I am excited to bring all of my friends from New York and LA to Nashville. I don't think a lot of people have a lot of my friends have not been to Nashville. So I'm really interested for them to see my new life.
It looks nothing
Yeah.
like her old one. When I met Jen, she was living in Berlin, dancing at Berghain, and now she lives in the suburbs of Tennessee with 7 children. So
Yes.
I
See,
mean,
look at
that's
all the
flash
gifts that
forward.
party has brought me.
And also because you said a lot of your friends haven't seen your Tennessee life, and it is kind of funny where it's like because like Nashville is like a full-on city and it's very fun. But I'm
yeah.
sure your New York and LA friends are like, we're going to Tennessee. Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
We're headed to the South. They're just like, oh my God, we're headed to the South. Are we going to be okay?
Someone asked me if there was a pharmacy in Nashville.
No,
Like, because
there's no pharmacies
or
here.
was there like a grocery store where they would be able to get natural almonds? I was like, yeah, we have food.
We have a Whole Foods. We're like an entire real civilization out here.
Yeah.
There's Wi-Fi. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is really changing for Nashvillians. But yeah, so try to embrace it. I'm not good at getting older. So we're gonna work on that.
But you're really good at birthdays. So
I'm really good at throwing myself birthdays.
yeah,
That is
it's going to be a big, fun, huge party. We have a ton of drag queens. We have a tattoo artist. We have a
Yes.
psychic. We have B12 infusions.
Yes. We have hangover IV prevention.
Yeah, it's going to be phenomenal.
How fun. Well, Danny and I also heard that you are celebrating turning 40 by freezing your eggs, Jen.
The natural lesbian 40th birthday gift to themselves. Yeah, so this is something I've been thinking about since I was in my late 20s. And I never really was at a point in my life where it made sense to do it. And Braunwyn and I were actually, I forgot where we were having the conversation, but you were very blunt. And Braunwyn said, if you're going to do it, you have 5 months.
You have to do it now. Like, cause I know you still feel really young, but your eggs aren't. This is coming from someone who's, you know, older and whose eggs are cooked. I said, because we've talked about having a child together, you know, Jen is a great stepmom, but there's a part of her that wants to have her own child, her own biological child. And I said, if that's something that you want to do, you know, now's the time.
We're not 100% decided, but on doing that, obviously we would talk to the kids first.
We'd have to talk to the kids first.
But it just
it's good to leave your options open.
And we're at a point in our relationship where 5 years down the line, we don't want to make a decision. Oh, now we want to start, you know, a family that's biologically mine. And at 45, it's just a lot harder for.
Yeah, like impossible almost.
Well, I wouldn't say impossible.
But pretty damn hard.
I have great eggs, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Like that's a very and that's a great way to look into it.
Yeah.
Above average.
And while you're doing the egg freezing process, like, and also going through these steps, because like you were saying, like you haven't had the major like decision or the 100% type situation yet, but going through it, it's a very for my friends who have done it, it's very taxing and very emotional, and it brings up a lot of those feelings. Like while going through the process, has it been making you lean towards one way or the other? Like, oh, this could be a really exciting chapter, or?
So if Braunwyn and I were just ourselves and there were no children in the picture, I think it would be an easy choice for me. Yes, I would go ahead and have another child. But for me, and Braunwyn and I have had like a lot of conversations about this, because we have the same viewpoint. We just have different pathways of getting there. My whole thing is that I need the younger and older kids to be a part of this. So the older kids, obviously, you know, I don't think that they're going to want to play as big of a role, but I want to make sure that they feel like they have agency in this choice, because we're not just growing a family that's her and I, we're growing a family that already exists. And so I just want to make sure before we make a decision.
And I've talked to
the younger kids have a say.
I've talked to the little kids about it, and they're all really excited. They would love that, you know? So we'll see where it lands.
Yeah.
I think
probably we're gonna move forward with trying, but like again, for me, it's like it has to be at least 6 out of 7 yeses.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
majority rule.
Yeah, I just don't want to do anything that's gonna.
Even though we live in Tennessee, we still believe in democracy.
Have you taken the temperature with your older children about the situation? Do you know what
we talked to Bella yesterday.
We mentioned the egg freezing.
Yeah, to Bella, and she was okay with it.
I think that it's as a child of divorced parents, I think that it's more of having to really process like, okay, now someone else that isn't related to my dad is going to have my mom as a mom. And I think that the older that you are, the more ingrained sort of your childhood memories are. And so I think that it's just going to be a process of like really working through that for the older kids, less than they would have a problem with me.
But my stepbrother and my stepsister are, you know, the loves of my life. They were born when I was 15 and 18. So I think, you know, it's also kind of fun to grow your family and to have that connection too. So.
And we would have to talk to Sean. I mean, we should let him know. Probably.
Well, we're doing this interview, so maybe he'll see it.
We'll send it to him.
What do you think?
Send this to him. Thanks.
We'll be sure to send it to Sean. What do you think he would think of you two wanting to move forward with having a child together?
I think his primary concern would be the
little kids.
And I think that as long as, you know, he was confident that we were having conversations where they had room to say no or to tell us their true feelings, I don't think he would have any feelings about us starting a new family. And I think he wouldn't view our child as his, because that'd be extremely weird. But I think he would, you know, like view it as an extended part of their core family.
Sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
You don't seem
I'm
so
not a straight
positive,
man. I don't
Bronwyn.
know how that works, but
How is the dynamic right now? Because I know that several months ago there was a lot of talk about your relationship with the kids and with Sean, and I know that there have been ups and downs, and this is kind of like an ongoing roller coaster. But where are we at currently?
It's not great.
well, it's great with the older kids.
I mean, the relationship is great with the older kids. Rowan and I had a falling out. Some things have happened that she's needed me, and of course, because I'm her mom, I'll be there. So my relationship with the kids is good right now. With Sean, it's really hard. He's very uncommunicative. He doesn't reply to emails. He doesn't tell me what's going on with the children. He doesn't give me important information. There was sort of like a crisis the other day, and I had no way of knowing except for my oldest daughter told me. He's gotten a little hostile. And him and Jen were really, really close, and now he's gotten more kind of aggressive and mean to you.
I think
It's
that
hard.
it's a hard situation. I think that divorce is really challenging. It is hard right now to co-parent with Sean. I don't think it will always be hard. I think that like he's going through his own process of dealing with just
I think
their marriage ending.
There's a lot of
and
anger, and I think it's coming out through the kids by him kind of gatekeeping them. Like when he has them, because we have shared custody, I don't get to talk to them at night. He won't let me have that phone call. He'll take them out of town. I won't know where they are. That part of it's hard. And I think for me, the hardest part is I'm still not getting child support or alimony. And it's been over a year and a half of that court order, being there. And so I'm still kind of fighting for that in the court systems. We have our first contempt hearing July 10th.
I think it will get better. I think they're in the worst of it. And they take turns, like who's struggling the most. And right now, and Braunwyn is doing amazing. She's like really prioritized her mental health. She's doing great. She's thriving. And I think like Sean is having his moment of kind of not navigating it with a lot of grace, but I think that it will change. And I think at the end of the day, everyone cares about the kids, and this isn't sustainable. So
no, for so long he was able to control me through money, and I think now he's controlling me through money and the kids. And now that I'm getting more financially independent, I think he's almost holding on tighter. It's hard.
I think who knows what's in his head, but I think he'll get better. It has to. It
has to get better. I mean, it can't get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And it's almost that hard thing that it seems like of him not letting you communicate with the kids when they're with him. It's kind of like he's using them as like pawns in the fight, which is always like, and you hear that happening with divorces sometimes. And it's
hard. It's hard.
Do you ever have moments where, of course, you said he's not that communicative, so much so that you guys have the July 10th hearing. Yeah. Are there moments where you try to like have a real talk with him, or just call him and be like, what's the end game, dude? You know what I mean?
He won't text or talk on the phone anymore.
Yeah, he won't text or talk on the phone. We had an incident with one of our kids that we kind of need to talk through, and so I invited him to go to lunch. I still haven't met his fiance. I haven't met her yet.
I think they're girlfriend. Yeah.
Well, he told me they were getting married. Okay. Anyways, whatever you want to call her.
I haven't seen a ring, so
we've never met her.
Whatever. I think they're girlfriends. Anyway, or boyfriend and girlfriend.
Of course you haven't seen her ring. You haven't seen her face either.
I mean, it's not a normal situation.
It's not. So we've never met her. And I did say, okay, the four of us have to
but she's open to it. He's not.
Yeah. So we've tried to meet up with him and talk about parenting stuff before, and she's open for it. And for some reason, Sean always shuts it down.
Does this ongoing drama and discord sort of impact the way you guys want to move forward with having your own kid? Because then it would be your own and you wouldn't have to deal with it. Like, does that make it attractive to you guys?
Well, I'm getting a really good lesson in how not to parent.
No,
when you get divorced.
When Jen is not like Sean. When she got divorced from her ex-wife, she was like, here, everything like Jen is not a fighter. She's not controlling. If we, God forbid, we split up, you would be so easy to co-parent with.
Yeah,
she's just like so easy and you can tell she's always the peacekeeper. And always like, oh, everything's fine. Like
I find it really easy. Even if I'm mad at someone, I can shut that off and do like, whether it's a child or I share a pet with like my ex.
Yeah.
I mean,
we fly to Germany to see Oh, you can't see it. We fly to Germany still to see Huck.
That's
Oh, I got on a plane
co-parenting
for that
with.
cutie. Yes.
Yeah.
He's
So,
cute.
I mean, she's still friends with all of her exes.
Well, that's like a very lesbian thing.
I was gonna say, yeah.
the majority of Jennifer's party is people that she slept with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So,
true.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Bronwyn,
So,
I give you credit. I'm too jealous of a person to go to that party.
Oh, don't give her too much credit.
no, I mean, we traveled with your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And the one that you
It
had
was
to
a
hide
rocky
in the
road.
closet, that, I mean, she's
Okay,
amazing.
thanks. But anyway, West Hollywood, crazy,
It's a
crazy.
vibe.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'm getting a really good understanding of how kids respond to familial trauma. I
Mm.
obviously, anyone that's had divorced parents, I've had my own experience with that. But as an adult, watching the way the kids process it, I think it's changed the way that I parent with them. I'm much more, before I'd be like, tell me how you feel. And they would say, like, I don't know. I don't really have any feelings about it. And I was like, no, you have to. But now I'm just I try and create a space where they can let me know if they're upset about something, not let me know that they're upset about something.
She's my kid's best friend. The younger kids and the older kids, you're their favorite person to be around. And they will even say, like, hey, I want to hang out with just Jen today. Can Jen take me out? My oldest daughter, Bella, my 23-year-old, texts her all the time, wants to, like, you're amazing to all the kids. So no, I think when we have a kid, if anything happened, it would
with
be,
us?
yeah.
Yeah, no, I would be great to co-parent with. I'm not sure that would extend to both of us.
Ah,
I'm making a co-parent.
oh.
No, you are.
Wait, but what I am curious about, and because this is jumping a few steps ahead in the egg freezing process, but it's on my mind because Ebony, who's a Roni alum, because she's doing the single motherhood by choice route, and she was talking about how when she picked her sperm donor, like kind of like the steps that she wanted to take with that, and how she picked someone who is open to, like, when the child turns 18, to like be communicative and not financially in the life, but like have that communication door and everything like that. And I was wondering, do you have any feelings about who you would want to pick for a sperm donor? Like, would you want a friend? Would you want someone who's like totally you don't know or something like that?
We would do a stranger. She's 100% Ashkenazi Jew.
Doing a stranger.
Well, we did think about my brother, but I was like, I don't know. That's kind of weird to me.
I don't think he would be into it.
Yeah, but like that's just weird to me for so many reasons. I know it works for a lot of people, but for me, it's creepy.
I would want. Well,
she's 100% Ashkenazi Jew, and I think that ancestry is very important to her.
I would probably like that, but for me, it's more like if we did an anonymous donor, I would want to make sure that the child could
find out who they are,
because I think that it's like everyone has their own process with whether they want that or not. And my ex-wife and I had actually froze embryos, and we had used a friend, like my best friend, and we didn't end up going through with it, but I already saw that like I think a lot of people do it well. I don't know that I could do it well.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it could get messy with like decision making or like big decisions that would impact the child like for a long time.
So I think the anonymous donor with an open door at the end is definitely
yeah.
That's interesting to hear that.
A light hair, blue-eyed
Ashkenazi Jew.
It should be super.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking for. If anyone knows any sperm around,
Right.
blue-eyed Ashkenazi.
No issues with that, probably.
Jen, as someone who has frozen embryos before, for people who are not familiar with the egg freezing or embryo freezing process, how do those two experiences differ, would you say? And where are you currently at in the egg freezing process now?
Well, the thing that we actually were thinking about too in Tennessee is that it's easier to freeze eggs because of all of the legislations that's being passed. So that is something we have to consider, that when you live in New York, you don't.
Well, the difference between freezing embryos and freezing eggs. So the egg retrieval part is the same. So in order to get embryos, you have to.
Did you guys take this class in middle school?
You know what? I need to brush up. I need to brush up.
But when you
I got the boot camp for my friends, but
you fertilize them with whatever sperm you're using, donor sperm, your friend, whoever. random street sperm, but you fertilize the egg and they basically make sure that it's a viable, I don't want to say baby because I believe that embryos are not
A
humans
viable
yet,
embryo.
but
Yeah.
a viable embryo that could be implanted and has a good chance of growing. But if you freeze your eggs, you're just skipping that process and like doing it later. What we found out, we both thought freezing embryos was
Would be
better, and we found out that it's actually there's not like we don't
When
have
I-
to know the sperm.
Yeah. When I did
Now.
IVF 11 years ago, it was better to freeze embryos, but the technology's advanced so much that it's okay to freeze eggs now. It has the same thawing rate.
Doing these steps, I mean, I know you guys have built such a home there. Like, do you ever have the thoughts of like, even though now I don't think anywhere really in the States is like the best place to be, but does it make you guys consider like weighing options of a move, or you guys are that as your home?
I would
I love it here.
love to move out of the US.
That's
Well,
when I saw the dog in Germany, I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
visit the puppy. Yeah.
Obviously, I can't take the kids out of the United States. I think,
Well, Sean might be down for a European move.
yeah, I mean, let's see who wins. Maybe we're all
Sean
headed
is
out.
British.
Yeah, Sean's a UK citizen.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and so all the kids have dual citizenship.
Not that they're doing much better, but
But as long, no, we're building a beautiful home here that should be ready in the next 6 months or so. I love it here, and I think to me one of the most important things is having, especially the queer youth here. They looked at Jen and they look at me, and you can see like that light go on in their eyes, and they're just so excited to see like, okay, it's all right to be queer here. And even just normalizing it at my kids' school, we're the only lesbian couple at the entire elementary school. And so for kids to see that makes a big difference. So that's where I keep thinking when things are hard. She obviously has a harder time here because she's more queer presenting.
yeah.
I have straight privilege, but she's doing Inclusion Tennessee. So she helps out with that. She which is an amazing program out here that's geared towards queer people in the South. She's on the board at Franklin, Tennessee, because Franklin
Pride.
Sorry.
I am definitely, unfortunately, not on the city council of
No, sorry. Franklin
No
Pride.
one wants a lesbian, a Jewish lesbian,
Which is-
council of Franklin, Tennessee.
They tried to cancel Pride the last 2 years. The city council did.
Well, I will say that I had previously been in the camp of this might not be the best place to raise the younger kids and this unborn spinner baby. But
Spinner.
sure. But at Franklin Pride this year, it was a monsoon, literally. Although New York City Pride was too, I heard. But so it was a monsoon, and I'm on the board, so I was working there, and our attendance was like 10% of what we thought it was going to be. And I was getting really defeated, and there was a lesbian couple that walked in with their 5-year-old, and the 5-year-old grabs one of the moms and says, "Oh my God, it makes me so emotional." But the 5-year-old was like, "Oh, is it okay here if I tell him that you're both my moms today, like just for today?" And I think that it was, and like they didn't even register it as a big moment because this is their reality. But it made me proud that I'm working with Franklin Pride. It made me glad that there is a Franklin Pride, even though every year it is attacked. And it just reminded me that like it's important that gay people stay here.
Yeah.
Like if we all leave, then that couple is going to have no one to sort of lean on.
And that little kid will never have a safe place to say, I have 2 moms.
Right. And you guys are also planning a big Franklin wedding. I think last summer you said it was going to happen in the
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So the thing with the wedding is Sean had agreed that if I married Jen, he'd still continue support. And then he went back, not that he's paying anything right now, but eventually he's going to have to, I think, hopefully.
Well, half at zero is still zero.
So right now we have to get all of the legal stuff taken care of before we can do that. But
I also don't need to be married. I mean, no offense.
But no matter what, we'll still have a big party and celebrate.
Yeah, like we're already so much more married. Like we have kids that we're raising. We have a house that we're building. I mean, the legal status would be nice, but
especially By the time that we have a baby, we definitely will be married because I don't want anything to. I
Well, we're
obviously
gonna do a ceremony regardless,
Yeah.
just because we both like parties and
I look
Yeah.
really good in dresses.
Oh yeah, but I know what you mean because it is that weird, like hospital and medical rules where they're like, oh, if
Yeah.
you're not like, if you don't have the paper that says XYZ, you can't go in the room and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I know what you
she'll
mean
have
about,
to adopt the baby probably even in New York, that's the
Yeah.
way it is.
Yeah.
So like she'll have to adopt the
Yeah.
baby like the day it well I hope it's a boy. We don't even have anyway.
oh, okay, this
There's
the
no
eggs are
baby.
gonna be cooking sooner than you think if you're already wanting the boy and the adoption and
I'm
the
empty.
everything.
I am an empty uterus right
Yeah,
now.
it's okay.
Have you began any steps so far?
So
Well-
we have the appointment made and we start August 4th.
I literally don't remember.
I think it's August 4th.
Okay.
That's when we're going to start the process is August 4th. So we talked to the doctor, got all the information, and we
Yeah.
start. We go out of town after her birthday party. We had to Guatemala
For my birthday.
for her never-ending birthday month, and then we start right when we get back.
Oh, very cool. Now, Jen, what makes you excited about the prospect of being a boy mom?
Girls are hard. They are so independent.
Girls are
I need
hard?
a
What do you mean?
codependent. I need a codependent boy child. No, I have so many sisters.
Yeah,
so many sisters.
And both your nephews are boys. It'd be so fun for them to all play together.
yeah, but like I mean, obviously I'll love whatever gender child we have, whether it's traditional or non-traditional, whatever gender that child comes out.
Boy, girl, non-binary,
But
trans.
I've always just like, I do really well with boy babies. I also dress more masculine. So it's hard for me to like style a girl. Like Hazel will walk out of her room, I'll dress her, and Braunwyn's like, no, you have to go. Can't, that's not okay.
Yeah, I think if you love sports. You not the girls
Well,
that play
girls
sports.
love sport. Everyone's watching women's sports right now.
That's true.
They are, yeah.
No, but I do really well with boys. Like my nephews, I do great with. Girls are just, they're so hard. And the teenage years, it's like,
They're really fun. So fun.
like me, my sisters and I don't know how my dad is at all functional. Like
He goes to bed at 4. He's exhausted. He's still 20 years past having teenagers, and he's still like, I can't handle you
it's
guys.
a lot.
Yeah.
Although boys are just easier. I'm sorry. I know that's so gendered and archaic, but they just are like, our boys are so much easier.
My boys are so much easier than my girls. 100%. They're so chill.
Oh, okay.
Are you looking forward to the baby stage again, Bronwyn, as someone who has raised very many babies?
I love babies. I
Oh.
love
That's why she hoards them.
that's why I hoard them. No, I love the newborn stage. That is absolutely 100% my favorite age. Like I love waking up in the middle of the night. I love that quiet time. It'll definitely be amazing too because I won't have the exhaustion of pregnancy and all of the hormones and everything.
Great.
So when she's recovering, I can still, I'll be feeling okay. And I'm definitely going to look into, not to gross anyone out.
Oh, are you talking about, this is so weird. Please don't talk about this.
Wait, I need to know
Talk
now.
about it.
Because even if you're not pregnant, you can still nurse a baby if you have before. So I would definitely look into that so that she can sleep. Because she's cranky when she doesn't sleep. So then I could still.
There's going to be a lot of challenges in my attitude throughout this process.
Yeah, I actually offered to carry the baby even though I'm old because she's
No.
going to be so cranky, but she wants to be pregnant.
I
and
want to
get
be
that.
pregnant because I just want that excuse to be like, no, you have to do this because I'm pregnant.
But you are like that in normal life when you're not.
That's true.
And also, Bronwyn, this will be so interesting because, of course, you have a lot of kids, but this will be your first time, like, on the other side of the
I'm
pregnancy
going
of
to
being
be
like
one that has to leave at midnight to go get the pickles and ice cream.
You're going to Instacart it. I know you.
That's
You would
true.
never leave the
Can I,
house.
can I tell you something? I'm not pregnant. I Instacart that for myself, so I
Yeah.
don't know what's up with me. But
Right.
yeah.
I forgot of the technology that's been invented since I was last pregnant. So you're right. I won't be running to the store.
Yeah, I mean, it will definitely be.
I'm excited though. I'm excited to see her in that role.
Well, I'm in that role.
But like pregnant, like
Oh,
you.
the pregnant role. No one else is going to be excited because I'm going to be awful.
And it's so beautiful though. It is so beautiful.
Yeah.
No, we're so excited for the two of you. But Bronwyn, I am curious if there are any trolls who catch wind of this news and they're like, you already have enough kids. What are you thinking? What do you say to those people?
You mean if there's any trolls?
I'm holding out hope that there's not, but we
I
know
can like
it's
give you the
not.
usernames
Oh,
of three that I
I
already
mean,
know.
we can go through what is wrong with you. You're a bad mom. You don't want the kids. I mean,
Yeah, you don't want the kids you
I
had.
think
Do you even see your
we
kids?
could make it into a drinking game and everyone would be hammered except for me. I'll judge. No, what I have to say to them is this is our life. You know, I chose to have 7 children. I love them dearly. Jen doesn't have a biological child, and that's important to her, and that's important to me. So, you know, I want her to be happy and not have to miss out just because I decided to overprocreate one day in my 20s, you know,
And 30s and 40s.
and 30s and 40s. No, but there's always more room. There's just adding someone to a family. It's just more to love.
It's also not something that we're doing without well, not even rash, but like obviously there's a financial component to having a baby. We're not having a baby, we're not doing IUI, which is where they just like turkey baster thing. Because we aren't in a financial place today to responsibly provide for a child. And we're also not doing this in a way that the other kids are gonna, it's like, all right, well, tough luck, you're getting a sibling. So like she'll still get hate because everyone loves to say that she's a bad mom. But that narrative is based on a TV show that was heavily edited. And like the people that actually see her in real life in our town with the kids are constantly like, oh my God, I'm so surprised. Like she fell and you helped her. And it's like, yeah, she didn't just push the 6-year-old into the street so she would get hit by a car.
What a concept.
No,
Wait, but I also
like I'm used to it now. Like in the beginning, I remember calling Tamara crying and it's like, how do you deal with this? And she's like, I don't know, you just do. And I never thought I would get to that place. But you really are just like, uh-huh. It's almost easier for people not to like you and whatever sometimes because it's like, I don't really need your validation anymore.
you're immune to it.
Yeah, like making decisions, huge lifelong decisions based on the opinions of strangers. That's probably not a wise decision.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Now, is there a timeline in your head about when you would like to have a
And
kid?
we'd like to start this.
I would love to know what our timeline
Well,
is.
you said last night within.
No, well, yeah, I mean, I am of an age where I will probably get tired more in like 20 years. So, I mean, the child needs
2 years. She's going to start getting tired.
the child needs to be 18 before I'm like, oh, I can't drive you to soccer because it's 4 o'clock and I have to go to sleep.
Well, that's us now.
I know. That's
It
gonna be
seems like that timeline is sooner rather than later. But I do like you bringing up the financial aspect of having a kid because also with people who go the egg freezing route, also it's not only like such an emotional and physical
Financial.
it's financial where a lot of people like it's an opportunity that not everybody can do because of it and it's such an investment and I know also like you do one round and you might need other rounds and everything like that.
Yeah,
So
I mean, we with my ex and I, we had like 4 rounds. And I think it's hard for me because the comments that I see all the time, like if we do anything, I mean, we could literally go to Costco and someone will think we're on vacation and they're like, wow, Bronwyn said she was broke, but she can go to Costco every day. And I mean, first of all, it's Costco, ma'am. But second of all, people forget that I have been financially independent since I was 17 years old. I have a job. I have actually multiple jobs.
Yeah.
And I pay my own way. I buy my own cars. I do my own thing. So Bronwyn's financial situation.
You bought me my car.
I bought you your car with a lot of support from your parents. But you know.
But I'm working now too. So I went back to school to be a sober coach. I'm taking clients now, which is great. And then I start back to undergrad and then law school in the fall.
oh
Wow.
shoot.
Okay, Legally Blonde. That's amazing.
What? Like it's hard?
Oh, I love that. Tell us about that decision. I mean, that's a big deal.
So my mom said, so I went,
No, that's babe.
what?
You talk about what you want to do with your law degree. Not.
No, he said, well, how did that happen? Well, I
Okay.
was talking to my mom because she knows what's going on. She said, we didn't pay for you to go to school when you were younger because I was financially independent from the time I was like 18. So my mom said, we never had to pay for your college stuff back then or buy you a home or help out with anything. We will do that now. If you go back to school, we will help and we will support you. So that with the sober coaching and with what I should get in alimony, I'm gonna, I think, be in a pretty good financial spot soon.
She's already, I mean,
The sober coaching is going really well.
yeah, she's doing a lot of sober coaching. She is working really hard on like other avenues with like her own brand kind of stuff. I mean, she's
I'm
doing
not just
everything she
sitting at home
can.
or going on vacation all the time. It might look like that. That's what people say, but it's very rare that we're just sitting around doing nothing.
But
we took today to go to the pool because we were exhausted.
But I mean, yeah, it's when people comment on like how can we live? Well, we can live because I mean, I can't support 7 children, but you know, my money is all like also comes into play, and I think that people forget
that women can work for now.
Yes, yes. They can.
Wait, and also because we I think it's something we want to get into. What do you want to do with the law degree? Because
I'm going to go into divorce law. I want to be an advocate for women. When I started the divorce process, I had no idea what I was getting into. I also didn't realize how long it would take. If I didn't have my mom and my parents and Jen, I literally would have been like homeless because of how it all unwound. You know, there's a lot of things that you can do to hide money so you don't have to pay someone. And I've learned it all the hard way. So I definitely want to advocate mainly for women, but for the non wage earning spouse, so they don't feel so alone, because it's hard and you need someone that's been through it.
Yeah, no, I think you'll be incredible at that. Also, I love to hear that the sober coaching is going so well. How is sobriety going today, Braunwyn? How many years has it been now?
4.5 years that I've been sober, and so I've become really good friends with the sober coaches and interventionalists from the TV show Intervention.
Oh.
So Zach and Darren, they live in Tennessee. They live in Nashville. And Amanda Marino, who's also one of the coaches, she lives in Florida, we've become really good friends. So they have been really helpful in taking me under their wing and giving me a lot of guidance and a lot of support. So I've been working with Amanda under her next level recovery umbrella, and it's going great.
Very cool.
But yeah, my sobriety is going really, really well. I was actually doing a live the other day because I started semaglutide, and someone said, "Does it help with?" Yeah, she hates that I do it. But someone
I don't know.
Like,
I don't.
No, everyone, like Soho House asked if we wanted.
It's funny.
They were like, you need to get food at your party. Like you're having an open bar, like with mocktails and cocktails, you need food. And I was like, ma'am, all of my friends are on Ozempic. So if I bought food, it would sit there and people would basically just lick it and leave.
It's for the pigeons. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But no, but someone was, they've been doing a lot of studies that semaglutides help with addiction. And so someone said to me, has it helped your alcohol cravings? And it made me realize that I don't have them anymore. I mean, I just don't have any desire to drink. And I think that realization, like, it's not helping with the cravings because I literally don't have them, was so freeing. And it's been so nice also with the coaching to be able to explain to people that, the first couple of years are so hard, but eventually you do get to a point where you're like, no, that doesn't look fun. I'm so glad I don't have to drink.
Yeah. I actually just gave up drinking April 9th. I gave it up, and I just want to give myself a year of no drinking just to see what happens.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, so far it's been pretty easy. I wasn't a big drinker before, but actually I was on Ozempic, and Danny and I were on a press trip in Grand Cayman, and Danny doesn't drink, but I was still drinking at the time. And I just had a really bad alcohol and Ozempic reaction, and I was like, F this, like I'm done. Maybe this is my sign from the universe to just give it up.
You're like, I can be skinny or I can be drunk. I'd rather be skinny.
Right,
exactly. And also because I don't drink, I woke up fresh as a daisy. Everybody else was a mess. I'm like, you're missing the pool and some snacks here. So come join.
Why are you going to perfectly good vacation being home?
It's been really nice so far. But wait, so Danny and I have both, played in the land of Ozempia. Jen, you're not a fan. What's going on? Tell us your thoughts. We can take it, by the way.
We can take it.
Because you can say whatever you want.
Okay, then fine. So My views on Ozempic are that, so I'm someone that, like Braunwyn, we've, like most women, have had some disordered eating in their life. And for me, I feel like it's taken me so long to have a healthy relationship with food. Would I love to take a shot and be able to lose 5 pounds like when I wanted to? Of course. But it's the change that it's making in my friends. I've noticed
Mm.
that it's not sustaining. So, like when you go off it and you start to gain weight, then all the anxiety and all of the like unprocessed issues that you had with your body image just come back. And I also just hate the fact that Bronwyn doesn't eat
She likes
because
me,
it's not fun to hang out with
and
someone
she
that's
also likes me curvier. I mean, you do. I get when I'm curvier.
I think you're beautiful either way. I do think you're a little thin right now, but you know, when you go to a restaurant, like I want to go with someone that's not like, oh yeah, I would really love, can I just get the carrot? I know that the carrots come with hummus, but just the carrot. Like that's not fun.
Wait, Bronwyn, how long have you been on it for?
About 2 months now.
Okay, and it's I mean it's working so much that Jen's even noticing the difference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I lost, so keep in mind, I'm 46. So I had like perimenopausal weight gain. I lost 20 pounds in like 2 weeks. It just
Wow.
fell off.
which is also not healthy.
Which is not whatever. But my whole thing was I didn't want to be I wanted to be the size I was 2 years ago. I have an entire garage full because we're in a rental house, so the closets are small. The entire garage, 2-car garage is filled with clothes I couldn't fit into. And I was like, I can't afford to buy all brand new clothes. I was dieting, I was working out, none of it was working because of all the hormone stuff that happens when you're my age. And I'm just happy that I can like feel like myself again.
Yeah.
But are you stopping?
So Jen likes you curvier, but you feel more comfortable.
I like her every way. I do think she's a little, you have even said like, okay.
No, I'm done losing weight. So I'm working with Enhance MD. So now I'm starting on the maintenance dose.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes.
Gotcha.
But also like, I'm just curious in 10 years, what are the long-term effects of this? I'm just excited to not be in the group that has to look at that.
Cool.
No,
I'll tell you what, losing weight really fast, there is a rush that comes along with it. And when I lost my weight, I was like, I don't care what happens in 10 years if I grow next.
I know.
Oh, and also after I watched the presidential debate, I'm like 10 years.
I know. Oh,
Let me just wear my jeans now.
The debate made me.
Sure.
No, I mean,
We're all moving to Europe.
I do get jealous.
And calories don't exist in Europe, so we'll win.
Exactly.
I get jealous a little bit, but not enough to do it. Are you guys still on it, or did you?
I'm on Wegovy, which is
okay.
I have it from the doctor and everything like that. Yeah, but I'm on a maintenance dose.
I stopped taking it about 2 months ago because I started with a trainer who had me eating a lot to gain muscle. So I have since gained weight, and I'm not sure if I love it. I'm still figuring out because you were saying as women you deal with disordered eating, some form of it. We're two gay boys. We deal with the same thing too.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah.
You're in West Hollywood. You're in the heart of disordered gay boy eating.
Yes.
Yeah, I live in Jersey. I don't even know why I'm on it. No one gives a shit here. This is great.
So much body dysmorphia. So I'm trying to figure out how I feel. I was just actually, before you guys hopped on, Danny and I were having a discussion about like, do I go back on it? Like, because I feel like I felt more comfortable being thinner than thicker. I don't know.
But also so many people do say, like the person who commented on your live, Bronwyn, that it does make the noise not just of food, but of like types of addiction or like compulsive traits go away too, which is crazy.
Yeah, it does. It does help with that. So I love it. I know you do, baby. She's sad I'm not cooking as much.
She doesn't cook at
Oh,
all.
that would annoy me.
She doesn't cook at all. And then if she does make anything, she's like, yeah, I can't eat it, so I'm probably not going to do this again anytime soon.
Are you the chef in the relationship?
What?
Are you the chef in the relationship? Are you the culinary queen?
I made dinner tonight. Well, because I'm the only one eating it.
We have very like old-fashioned roles. You pay the bills, you do all the computer stuff, you make sure everything's done around the house. I do the cooking, the cleaning, the laundry. Like we might be this like gay couple, but pretty much.
Well, I stupidly made a joke.
I'm like
that I don't do anything, and now like every time I post anything on Instagram, people will comment with like, "Oh, well, you don't do anything." And I'm like, I actually do a lot.
No, so
I
she
just can't do laundry.
right. She can't do
Laundry's
laundry.
not fun.
It's not fun. No.
But neither's paying bills, so
Right.
yeah, it evens
Yeah, so
out.
she does that part. I do the cooking and cleaning. It works well for us.
Oh, I love that. And then while you're taking semaglutide shots, she'll be taking shots for egg freezing. Everyone's shot
Yep.
all around.
She's gonna be shooting up estrogen, progesterone.
Gonna be people have been giving me a lot of warning about how horrible I'm gonna feel about my body while I'm taking
The side effects are super fun.
Like the bloating.
Everyone says it's worth it after, but yeah, I've never heard the good.
yeah.
But it's good you have a support system because I just know it's a lot.
You
It's a
know
lot.
me. Every morning, I'm gonna have my phone on Instagram, but when she doesn't know I'm filming her and documenting the whole journey, just because I love to screw with her.
I
It's just
hate it.
that's why I do it.
But also on the other side of that, I do think it's important for your followers, Bronwyn, and just anyone watching, because I feel like a lot of people aren't super open and transparent about the process. So I think it's actually like a great learning tool, and I feel like so many people will appreciate you guys taking them on the journey.
And you know, that's one thing I do. Whatever I do, I share it or I overshare it and I take everyone through everything. Like whatever I'm doing, I'm not hiding and I'm putting it all out there for anyone.
Well,
So-
and it's also like we're older. I mean, I think there's something to that. A lot of people like think about doing this and then they say, "Oh, well, I'm 40. It's probably too late."
So
And we're not super wealthy, so we're going to be doing it. I don't know how you do it on a budget. Like only take one egg.
we're
We're gonna
Brunch on a budget. Yeah.
yeah.
You can only have one.
Well, that is why we love you guys, and we can't wait to watch this journey while you're sleeping, Jen, while you're being filmed without you knowing about it. Every step of the way.
Yeah, I would say that it sounds creepy when you put it like that, but that's like exactly what
I do.
happens. Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys taking the time and for opening up to us. We're so excited for you, and congratulations. We can't wait to see what happens.
And enjoy the birthday.
Yes.
We will. Thank you guys. Mwah. Group hug.
Yes, group hug. We'll talk to you soon.